Call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. This is the Porter County Board of Commissioners meeting Tuesday, August 13th, 2019. We're going to move right into consent agenda. And Melanie, why don't you read the consent agenda?
Approval of payroll, July 12th, July 26th, and August 9th, 2019. Approval of minutes, July 9th, 2019. Approval of claims, July 11th, July 18th, July 25th, August 1st, 2019. Treasurer's monthly reports filed for August 31st, 2018, September 30th, 2018, October 31st, 2018, November 30th, 2018, December 31st, 2018, January 31st, 2019, February 28th, March 31st, 2019, April 30th, 2019, May 31st, 2019, June 30th, and July 31st, 2019.
Okay, and now over to the, for Memorial Opera House Autistic Service Agreements. We'll have Commissioner Blaney read those.
We've got Jared Collar, soundtrack of Our Life in Heroes and Villains, Don Parker and Andrew Snyder. Then we have a production agreement for R&H Theatricals for Holiday Inn.
Okay, so that is the consent agenda. I'll open it up to floor.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion second for consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Now we're going to get into announcements here. We have a couple gentlemen here from the Highway Department that we would like to celebrate today. We have Guy Johnson, who has been with the department for over 25 years of service, and we have Harold Salyer, which has been in the department for over 30 years in the Highway Department. These are two gentlemen that have been the cornerstone of the Highway Department for years, and we'd like to take this opportunity and time to celebrate them and to recognize them for their years of service. So if you two gentlemen would please come forward and have the other commissioners come up with us here.
Oh, hell yeah.
We'll do Guy first. Guy, on behalf of the Porter County Board of Commissioners, we'd just like to thank you for your years of service and all your work out there. Thank you so much. There you go. You have anything you'd like to say?
Not a whole lot, just a long road, you know.
Long road, right? No pun intended, right?
Been all good.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Tough to replace, very much. And then we'll give one with Harold here. Harold, thank you for all your service. Harold has been the district foreman for South County. He's the voice of the South down there for the last 30 years. A lot of people know Harold. A lot of people know that when he's there, things get done. We're going to miss him down there quite a bit. So thank you again, Harold. And on behalf of the Porter County Highway Department, Board of Commissioners, Porter County Government, thank you. Thank you. Any other commissioners would like to say anything? Let's get a picture of all of us here together, so you have something to remember us by when you're out fishing. Right?
I'm not done.
Okay. Bring it in, Bill. Thank you, gentlemen, again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the best part. This is the big show. This is the show.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't get on that, so. Yeah, no, it wouldn't last long.
One of the other things that we would like to announce here too, before we get into the heart of our agenda, I think a lot of you have been watching and hearing us talk about the activity that's been going on up in South Haven and the stormwater project, the beginning of the stormwater and the restoration of that entire area up there. We're very close to having the first segment completed, and we're going to be celebrating that here in the near future. We also have some other announcements on the next phase of work that's going to be going on up there. So stay tuned for more things to happen in South Haven. If any of you get a chance to drive through the Governor Road area and see what has been done up there, I think you will be totally overwhelmed the transformation that has taken place up there. And we're very proud of that. And I think that our stormwater department has done a fantastic job of managing that project and working to make that transformation of that area of our affordable housing area in Porter County much better than what it is today. So we're very excited about that. We talk about it a lot, but it's something that needed to happen, and we're now fulfilling that action, and we're executing. So be on the lookout for more information on the transformation that's happening in South Haven, and we look forward to talk about it in the future. And this will be something that we'll be talking about in this board for quite some time, because we have a long-term dedication to that area to bring it up to speed. So just wanted to keep that out in front of everybody and let everybody know that there's a lot of work going on up there. So thank you. Next thing on our list, we're going to move into the Commissioners' part of the agenda. We have a professional service agreement for Shive Hattery, architectural firm in town here, for the amount of $23,800. And this is basically for some facilities master planning that we're doing now that we're getting near the end, or sort of near the end, of our capital improvement project. Some of the offices and some of the things that we've moved around and have made better for a lot of different departments. It's created some openings and some areas that we need to sort of restudy and take a look at. We won't be acting on anything. This is more just of a planning document that we can use for the future on our facilities. So that's what this contract is here today in front of the board for. I'll open up the floor for any motions, discussions, or whatever, but feel free.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for a professional service agreement for the Porter County Facility Master Planning Project, the amount of $23,800 for Shive Hattery. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next on our agenda, we have a memorandum of understanding between the Porter County Commissioners and the Porter County Board of Elections and Registration. Attorney McClure, can you give us an update as to what that's for?
This is the memorandum of understanding that we have had all the departments, we've invited all the departments to participate in. This is the social media policy, in which we would have one standard social media policy, and then we will deal with, the Commissioner's Office deals with paying for the storage of the social media sites for Freedom of Information requests, and we have the Commissioners are paying for the master contract as long as all the other departments are adopting the same social media policy. So this memorandum of understanding is the Board of Elections and Registration adopting the master social media policy.
Okay. Any questions? The board?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for a memorandum of understanding between the Porter County Board of Commissioners and the Porter County Board of Elections and Registration. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign. Motion carries. Next, we have an amendment to a resolution of the Porter County Board of Commissioners concerning the assignment of tax sale certificates to government entities. Attorney McClure, I'll defer to you again.
This is a resolution to clarify the assignment of some of the tax sale certificates. We had a couple of the parcel numbers incorrect. This is between the auditor's office and council that's been dealing with this. This is the correction for that, so I would recommend that we approve this.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for an amendment to the resolution of the Porter County Board of Commissioners concerning the assignment of tax sales certificates to government entities. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Okay, now we're going to get into pay apps, and in the past, I know a lot of people that sit through these, they're quite exhaustive. I have talked to legal counsel, and we are able to sort of bunch these up by project, so we're going to try to move through these a little bit quicker than what we've done in the past. So for the first up is the Valparaiso Courthouse renovation. I think we're pretty much 98, 99% completed at the courthouse, just doing punch list work and other things right now. But of the Valpo Courthouse renovation payment apps, we have MCOR Higher Electric, pay app number 10, in the amount of $1,172.50 for electrical work. There still is a remaining balance, which we call retainage, that is still outstanding. We have MCOR Higher Electric, pay app number 11, in the amount of $8,270.50 for electrical work, and this is the final payment. J.W. Wirtz and Sons, pay app number 3, they're the people that provided and installed the historical windows. Pay app number 3 in the amount of $201,168.20 for window replacement, with a remaining balance of $87,865.55. And then the last one, number 4, is Midwest Tile and Interiors. This is pay app number 7 for flooring in the amount of $1,900. I'll throw that to the floor.
Motion to approve the pay
Second.
apps for the courthouse.
Second. We have a motion and a second for the pay apps for the Valparaiso Courthouse renovation. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Next up, we have the Expo Center renovation. As you know, that facility is done and open. We have Midwest Tile and Interiors, pay app number 6, in the amount of $37,746.35 for flooring, and they have a remaining balance of $17,143.35. Continental Electric, pay app number 10, in the amount of $2,612.50 for electrical work, with a remaining balance of $38,729.30. And then we have Oosterbaan and Sons, change order number 2, in the amount of $20,899 to provide painting of brides' rooms and exterior painting. What that was for was when we got the building up and we got it all painted per the scope of the contract, the building just didn't quite look right, so we spent a few extra dollars and fixed those areas up, and I think we now have the look that we want. And so that is all part of that as well, too. So that is the Expo Center renovation pay apps and change orders. I'll throw it to the floor.
Motion to approve.
Second. We have a motion and a second for the Expo renovation pay apps and change orders. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Next up, we're at 157 Franklin Street renovation. That's down the street here. We have pay apps and change orders. I visited this, was at the site a couple weeks ago. Things are moving along rather quickly there. It's looking good, starting to take shape on the inside. We have Midwest Tile and, Continental Electric. Pay app number 1 in the amount of $38,599.16 for electrical work, with a remaining balance of $1,100,700.84. We have Midwest Tile and Interiors, pay app number 1 in the amount of $9,215 for flooring, with a remaining balance of $212,115. Circle R Mechanical, change order number 1 in the amount of $23,363 to provide new waste vent piping. And then Pangier Corporation, change order number 1 in the amount of $20,637 to provide added lintels above window and exterior brick repair along with the inspections around the building. I will tell you on change orders number 1 and 2, these were things that once we got into the building and we started working through them, the work that we questioned, we didn't feel at this point, we felt that it needed to be redone at this point before we covered it all up and then chasing this problem 5-6 years down the road. So we're trying to tackle some of these issues as we're starting to get into the building a little bit. We're trying to take a much long-term approach to this building for the taxpayers and for the county as well, too. So just a little bit of an explanation on those 2 change orders. I'll throw that to the floor as well.
Motion to approve pay apps and change orders for 157 Franklin Street.
Second. We have a motion and a second for the pay apps and change orders for 157 Franklin Street. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Next up, this is a long one, North County Annex, pay apps, authorizations, allowances. This is for the courthouse renovation and the new building that we're sharing with Portage Township. This project has come a long way this summer. I don't know if anybody's driven by up there, but it's rapidly taking place, and so I'm not surprised by the number of pay apps because the amount of work has been fast and furious up there. So we're going to start with Circle R Electric Pay App 2 in the amount of $39,094.48 for electrical. Remaining balance is $707,593.95. Kleckner Interior Systems Pay App number 1 in the amount of $99,957.53 for metal studs and drywall. Remaining balance of $747,375.47. Kleckner Interiors Pay App number 2 in the amount of $47,530.68 for metal studs and drywall, with the remaining balance of $699,844.79. Mechanical Concepts, Pay App number 2, in the amount of $38,788.50 for HVAC, with a remaining balance of $1,214,040.50. Mechanical Concepts, Pay App number 3, in the amount of $115,738.50 for HVAC, remaining balance of $1,098,302. Stands Painting and Decorating, Pay App number 1, in the amount of $7,563.90 for painting, with a balance remaining of $128,496.10. Pangier Corp., Pay App number 2, in the amount of $72,827.94 for labor and materials, with a remaining balance of $1,301,213.62. Pangier Corp., Pay App number 3, in the amount of $29,379.41 for labor and materials, with a remaining balance of $1,271,834.24. Some of you may be thinking, why are we having two pay applications in the same, one after another? Based on when our meetings were held, we got in between two pay applications. So we're seeing two. We're not paying ahead or anything. It's just when this date fell, we're working off two pay applications just on the timing. That happens quite a bit. Zilkowski, did I have Pangier number 8? I think I did.
You did.
Yeah. Zilkowski Construction, Pay App number 6 in the amount of $9,865.75 for masonry, with a remaining balance of $95,790.35. Zilkowski Pay App number 7 in the amount of $296,477.90 for bid package number 1, with a remaining balance of $1,193,450. Zilkowski Pay App number 8 in the amount of $118,427 for bid package number 1, with a remaining balance of $1,075,023. And then Zilkowski Construction Pay App number 7 in the amount of $2,130.85 for bid package number 2, with a remaining balance of $93,659.50. Number 13 is E.C. Babilla, and that's Pay App number 1 in the amount of $166,380.76 for roofing, with a remaining balance of $650,019.24. Arctic Engineering, Pay App number 1 in the amount of $133,770.58 for plumbing, with a remaining balance of $274,629.42. Circle R Electric, Pay App number 3 in the amount of $65,034.95 for electrical, with a remaining balance of $624,559. Zilkowski Construction, allowance authorization in the amount of $2,265 to provide cooling tower masonry and masonry revisions under windows at office building. Kleckner Interior Systems, allowance authorization in the amount of $2,546 to provide temporary wall in judges' offices for continuance. And Zilkowski Construction, change order number 3 in the amount of $3,649 to provide cooling tower enclosure concrete revisions in accordance with ASL. So those are your 18 pay apps for the North County project in Portage, and I will throw it to the floor.
Motion to approve the pay apps and change orders for Portage project.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the pay apps and change order for the North County Annex Building. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Got through that. Thank you. Next up, we have the coroner's office. Doris is here. I see her sitting in the crowd. This is for Bartronics. A quote to have radios installed in the county coroner vans in the amount of $3,267.80. When we bought all the radios for everybody last year, somehow the coroner never got their application in for the radio. Somehow it was missed. May have to do with an election or whatever, but we're coming back today to take action on this and get our coroner vans set up with the communication systems they need to communicate with our new 700 megahertz towers. So I'll throw that to the floor.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for Bartronics, a quote to have radios installed in the county coroner vans in the amount of $3,267.80. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign. Motion carries. We can have radios now, Doris. Thank you. EMA, Lance Bella. Don't see Lance here.
No, Lance is on vacation.
That's right. That's right.
This is the District 1 memorandum
So,
of understanding.
yeah, what a lot of people, what you may or may not know, is Porter County has their own emergency management agency, which falls under the Board of Commissioners oversight. But then, if you take it up a next lot, in the state of Indiana, emergency management associations are then broken into districts. And Porter County is in District 1. And with that, I know just several years ago, what we have learned is that a lot of different counties' equipment is used for other counties. And Porter County, as we've gotten through it and have looked at, inventoried all of our equipment, all of our rigs, all of our machines, we have found that Porter County has probably a little bit more equipment than maybe some of the other districts do, and so we're sort of being used a lot. We don't have a problem with working with district, but what we also felt that was we needed to have some type of agreement and understanding between the district and our county as to when they use their equipment, how they bring it back, how they let us know.
And who's maintaining it?
Who's maintaining it.
So this one locks in Jasper to pay $3,000 a year towards, that goes into a non-reverting fund here that we would utilize for the maintenance of the District 1 assets. And those are outlined in the memorandum.
agreement. Yep.
Yeah, there's a total of 5 counties that make up District 1. So we reached out to the other 4 counties because we had been basically bearing the whole burden of the cost of maintenance and housing that equipment, because we had the space where the other districts did not, evidently. And Jasper was the last to agree to the memorandum, and that's what this is to finalize it.
Yep. Thanks, Jim. Any questions from the board?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for a memorandum of understanding between Porter County government and Jasper County government for the purpose of contributing to the use and maintenance of District 1 Equipment Maintenance Fund. And they will contribute $3,000 a year each in January. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Next up is Rob Lanchworth, 911. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
What do we have here, Rob?
We are requesting the Commissioners consider for approval the RAVE renewal for Smart 911 and RAVE Mobile. It's a contract that the county has agreed to since 2011. It expired this year, and we're requesting that to be renewed. The dollar amount, it's a to me, a better contract than what we saw in 2016. In 2016, the commissioner signed a 3-year contract for a dollar amount of $54,000. This time, Rave Mobile is offering the county a 5-year agreement for slightly less, $53,735.40. That's what we have.
Thanks.
Rob, could you real quick, without getting too down in detail, what is the RAVE system, the Smart 911 system?
Yeah, go ahead.
Smart 911 is a system where people can go on, sign up online when they call into 911. If they have a profile, it pops up. We get their medical information, any information they want to put in that call helps the dispatcher. If we get a call where somebody's not speaking, we have some information to go off of. That's the basic of it.
Okay. Do we know what the participation level is?
For 2019, we had 261 profile pop-ups for us. Compared to 2018, we had 583. We would like to see a stronger community participation in this because it is very helpful if you cannot speak. For 2018, we had 76% of our 911 calls were by mobile devices. This year to date, we're seeing a 78% participation. So more and more of our community members are using wireless devices to communicate with us, and this instantly provides our operators with critical information. To give you an example of something that we saw last year, one of our supervisors communicated that somebody had this on their phone. They communicated that their family member had medical issues, a bit combative, and that was helpful for our 911 operators to relay not only to medics that were en route, but to officers, so they knew what they were going to confront.
And this is for residents, of course, but as businesses as well.
Absolutely, yes.
And we pay this not only for the behalf of the unincorporated residents, but also the incorporated in the cities and towns as well. We're paying that.
Yes.
That's it. Okay. I don't have any more questions.
Go ahead, Commissioner Lane. My question was more in the world of RAVE. If you had a crystal ball and you look to the future, is this something that you think could be something incorporated into something else, or is it always, you think, going to be standalone and will continue to be more robust? And the reason I'm asking is we also have a 3-year option here, which is a little bit more, I believe.
Per year.
Yeah, per year. It's insignificant. But my question to you is, as fast as technology seems to be advancing here, especially in this world, is it more incumbent on us to not commit ourselves an additional 2 years out there than a 5-year agreement? So that's my conundrum.
It's a good thing to consider because we are seeing an advancement in technology. To give you an example is, in 2016, the 911 Center really did not have a lot of texting capabilities, and since 2016, the state of Indiana now offers what is called Texty. And Porter County was recognized by the state of Indiana as a top 10 community that was very aggressive in sending text messages with this free service. So Smart 911 isn't necessarily needed as much anymore. In addition, as Next Generation 911 is becoming more location-based, right now phone carriers are using what we call Phase 2, which is just a general location about where that 911 call is coming from by triangulating towers. Phase 3 is likely around the corner. I can't give you a specific timeline, but I know the State Board 911 of the state of Indiana and communities across our nation are working hard to press 911 community or wireless carriers, Sprint, AT&T, and so on, to provide better triangulation, because you have it right now. When you want an Uber or a Lyft, they know exactly where you're at. So the technology is there. It's just about getting that now into the hands of 911 centers.
Well, let me ask you a question. Is there a better way to spend this money than to buy into this program here, especially under the terms that Commissioner Goodhead was concerned about?
Well, we do know that the other component of this contract does involve the RAVE mobile alerting, which is something that myself and Director Bella from EMA were going to start discussing this year on how the county, how the 911 Center could work with EMA, that when there is an EMA activation of something of a significant nature requiring maybe evacuation of communities. We could utilize this to broadcast it. It provides you with presidential features, literally where the United States President this year did a test. This also has that override capability to send out a notice. But I think, to Commissioner Good's point, is maybe a 3-year contract would be something to consider as we research this into the future, and then reevaluate in 3 years, because 3 years will come fast.
From how I'm looking at it, I think it's needed. I think if we were to go to a 3-year, it's an additional $1,733 a year to the county for a shorter term. I'm just starting to wonder if all this stuff in the next 3 years is going to start value adding to the main thing, and this becomes something part of, and I would just hate us to be caught up in a contract that we want to get out of, but we can't. And so I think it's a good insurance policy to maybe look at the 3-year, just from a technology standpoint. In 3 years, if we get here, the other thing that happens with technology, as more advanced that it gets and becomes more common, the price goes down too. So, maybe that gives us an opportunity to renegotiate in 3 years too. So that was why I brought it up to the board. So.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm all right with 3 years.
Are you?
Yeah, but.
I'll make a motion to approve the rave renewal for 3 years.
Second.
And that dollar amount would be, instead of, as listed on the agenda, $53,735.40 a year, it would be $55,468.80 per year.
Yeah. So we have a motion and second. Any discussion?
Yeah, and if you two could, say over the next week or two, throw us, the commissioner, some suggestions how we might be able to influence better participation rates. That's an awful lot of money for, picking up only 200 or 300 people a year.
Okay.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a second for a 3-year contract for RAVE, which is a mobile public safety alerting system. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Now, we have a request to approve the 911 Supplemental Employee Handbook. And I think from what I'm hearing is
Let's continue it to the next meeting.
we're going to continue it to the next meeting, so we would need a motion, a second, and a vote to continue.
Motion to continue.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, to continue a request to approve a 911 Supplemental Employee Handbook. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Will be on the next agenda. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thanks.
Next up, Memorial Opera House, Scott McDonald.
Morning.
Morning, Scott. How you doing?
Well, how are you?
Good.
Good.
What do you got?
We've got a couple things here. So Indiana Arts Commission has awarded Memorial Opera House a fiscal year 20 regional initiative grant in the amount of $9,724. This is artistic operations support that we are able to apply for every other year. This is the second time that we've won this grant, and we're able to use it for any of our operational needs at the theater, whether that is purchasing new equipment for the box office, new software, any really operational needs that we may have are covered by this.
Okay. Do we need to do anything on that?
I think it's more of an announcement.
It's
Yep.
just an announcement?
Yep.
Okay.
And,
Can I stop you real quick?
Yes, of course.
Can you talk about the other recent grants that you...
Sure. So we have a couple other grants that we have. One, we recently won an Anderson Foundation grant of $20,000. And we also have received money from Indiana Arts Commission, again, for project support. $5,000 was received for our Limelights program, and we have seen quite a bit of uptick in all of our grant income this year to Memorial Opera House Foundation and to Memorial Opera House. A lot of it is program-based for the Limelights, which is extremely exciting for us. We have seen about, between ticket sales, tuitions, and grant revenue, we've seen about $40,000 broadened this year by the Limelight, so we're very, very excited about that. And we are looking at a grant through the DNR right now for restoration to the building. That would be in tandem with the one that we received 2 years ago now that allowed us to get the project manual for the building. This is now the construction end of that. We're researching that because there are Department of Interior standards, things like that, that we have to adhere to. So we're researching that, but very, very exciting stuff.
Great.
Yeah.
Then next up, we have a memorandum of understanding between the Memorial Opera House and the Memorial Opera House Foundation and regarding marketing expenditures for events.
Sure. So Memorial Opera House Foundation is hosting 4 different events throughout the year, and they haven't set up a marketing budget for themselves for these events. And since the events that they are doing help the Opera House and they're providing direct support to the Opera House from these events, we would like to be able to allow some of our marketing dollars to help them out with marketing their events, because it all benefits the Opera House as a whole, and then they would be, in return from the proceeds from those events, giving us back the marketing money that we're giving them.
So these events are happening at the Memorial Opera House?
Correct.
And then this memorandum of understanding that the foundation has also signed allows that the money that would come out of the Memorial Opera House budget itself would be recouped directly from the event proceeds, in which we're in control of. So this is a win-win. The foundation exists to help and support the Opera House. These events are happening at the Opera House. This helps drive the business, and then we're able to recoup our money back from it. So this is a win for everyone all the way around.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the memorandum of understanding between the Memorial Opera House and the Memorial Opera House Foundation regarding marketing expenditures for the events. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign, motion carries.
If I may, real quick as well, at the last board meeting, the foundation also has set aside direct support for building maintenance to the Opera House. They just approved $11,000 for new exterior doors for the Opera House, so we'll be working with Ray on getting that taken care of as well here in the near future.
Scott, real quick, how did your last show go? What were the numbers?
Mamma Mia, we were completely sold out for 11 performances, and we grossed $68,000 on that, $68,300, and we were, it's probably been our best-selling show to date. So we're very, very, very excited. We also saw our season ticket sales started during that production. We are currently outpacing last year's season ticket sales by about $5,000. So in 3 weeks' time, we brought in about $35,000 worth of season ticket sales. So
Did you set a record last year?
Last year, we set a record for season tickets at about $60,000, so we're projecting about 65 to 70 this year. So it's a very, very exciting time.
So what's the next show that will beat the last show? No pressure.
So no pressure at all, right. So our upcoming play is The Mousetrap. We actually last night saw over 20 people auditioning for that for 8 roles in the show. We have another large crowd coming out this evening. We're very excited to be working with a director from St. Joe Rensselaer. He's directed over 105 performances, including The Mousetrap, I think 3 times, so he has a very, very clear vision. He really wants to market this because he knows plays don't sell as well as musicals anywhere. So we're excited to be working with him. And then, of course, our Christmas show coming up of Miracle on 34th Street is already selling, and again, it's on the same track as last year's Wonderful Life, which, if you recall, that sold out at Halloween. So we are really, really knuckling down. We've got good things happening, and we're very excited to see what happens here in the future.
Well, to all you at the Memorial Opera House and the foundation, great job.
Thank you.
Keep it rolling.
Thank you, and thank you for all of your support.
Yep. Thank you for your leadership.
Yep, thank you.
Scott. Yep. Next up, we have Porter County Museum. This is from NCI. This is a proposal to provide the installation of cable in the amount of $961. And this proposal has been reviewed by Don Welson, IT Director. This just gives them, I think, a leg in on some better cabling into the building, I believe, right, Don? Yep. So I'll throw that to the board.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for NCI. This is a proposal to provide the installation of cable in the amount of $961. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, pose same sign, motion carries. Expo Center, Lori Daly. Morning, Lori.
Has the council already approved this?
Yes, so this is a housekeeping thing.
And why don't you, just for our meeting and our record, tell us what you're doing here.
So we were approved last year to add, in last year's budget, to add an event manager for 2019 with the remodel. I waited until August, well, that was my plan, and then Debbie retired, so that was, we weren't ready for that, so then the assistant manager opened up. So one of the gals that I interviewed for the event manager, I hired her, and then we have our new event manager, which is Armand Dorio. He started a couple weeks ago. So we are building the team for the future.
Great.
And we did get this approved at the council meeting last year, and I forgot to send it to Kathy, so it's my fault.
Okay. I'll put it to the floor.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for request for salary changes for the following positions: assistant manager from $43,805 to $41,000, and then event manager from $35,000 to $37,000. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Don Wells in IT. Morning, Don. What you have here are quotes from MCI Cabling Company again for the North County Annex. This is the building in Portage that we're renovating, and the new building we're building there, the complex. Just before we get into all these numbers, let everybody know that these numbers are in the budget for the project, but because they weren't part of the construction contracts, we're bringing them out here separately, and we're approving these contracts separately for transparency. So they are in the budget, but they are not under any contract, so we're just cleaning that up. So Don, you want to take us through this?
Yeah, we had different quotes here for whether it was the annex, A or B, or whether it was the new building. On the first one, the $53,969, we're going to be installing 247 Cat 6 cables there on those two, on the Area A. Area B, the $18,000, we're going to be installing 88 new Cat 6 cables. Then on the office building, we're going to be installing 123 Cat 6 cables and a couple fiber runs. On the annex, the camera cabling came in at $4,000 and some dollars. We're going to be installing 18 new cables for that. And for the Area B, we're going to be installing 39 Cat 6 cables for those cameras. The North County, the parking lot cameras, we're installing 15 Cat 6 data cables and 2 fibers. And that should be it for that for now.
So a lot of new cameras in this judicial system, which is, I think, long needed up there.
Yeah, they're old cameras.
They're old, and this will give us a heightened security and better resolution and cover a much bigger area. I'd also like to point out that in these quotes, the county, we're only responsible for our half of the building and the judicial center. So Portage Township government will be responsible for some of these costs as well, as we're the lead on the project, but that we have an agreement for them to reimburse us back on these type of things. So I just wanted to clear that out, that this entire amount aren't entirely borne by the county. It's also borne by Portage Township, the Portage Township trustees up there. So any questions or comments?
Just that I think it's sometimes lost, the security component in the renovation of this building. From a security standpoint, this building is going to be light years ahead of where the building was before we started. I mean, it's going to be highly secured, which I think unfortunately, this day and age, it's an absolute must. So I think sometimes we overlook that the security technology we're putting in this building is first rate, so.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for camera cabling for the North County Annex project as noted on the agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign, motion carries. Thanks, Don.
Thanks, Scott.
Next up, we have the auditor, Vicki Urbanek. And Vicki, I don't think you need to come out in front of us here, because this is a second reading. Save you a little time.
Thank you.
This is a second reading from our last meeting, and this is an ordinance reestablishing the fee for real property conveyance documents endorsed by the auditor of Porter County. This is second reading. Any comments or questions from the board?
Motion to approve on second reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on second reading. An ordinance reestablishing the fee for real property conveyance documents for Porter County. This is endorsed by the auditors. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign, motion carries. Next up, Ray Cloyd, Facilities. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Doing well, how are you?
Good? So what you got first up, Diamond Vending, what do you got here?
All right, we have our vending machines in the county buildings, this building, courthouse, the jail. They're just, the current vending company is not just good for us. Bad product in there, outdated. They're not replying to us on our customer service needs, so we reached out to other vending companies, and Diamond Vending was the better suited for our buildings.
Any comments or questions?
No?
Motion to approve Diamond Vending.
Second. We have a motion second for Diamond Vending. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign, motion carries. Next up, what do you got here?
We got a steam table over at the JDC. It's been having some issues for the last couple months. The team has tried to correct it, but we're not having any success. We need to get them a new one. The steam table is pretty old. It's been there since the beginning of JDC, and now we need to replace it because it keeps on leaking.
And for those of you that don't know the county slang, the JDC means the Juvenile Detention Center that's out on Highway 2. Just for clarification purposes.
So this is the one we're replacing, is the original one that was...
Correct.
Well, we got our money's worth out of it.
Most definitely.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve Restaurant Supply in the amount of $4,265.71 for replacing a hot food serving table at the Juvenile Detention Center. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Ray.
Hey, when you get a chance, I'd like to talk to you about those big pots up in front of the courthouse there and what we're going to do to plan in there, and we'll get with you. Thank you. They look good. Next up, Highway Department.
So I've talked to Highway, and on both these requests, if we could just continue them to the next meeting, we're going to try one more avenue to make sure we're getting our best bang for our buck on the request. Both the requests are related to the purchase of the 5 F-250s. So one is to move the money, and one is to approve the purchase. So if we could continue that to the next meeting, we can explore one more avenue and keep this on track.
We need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to continue a transfer of funds and a bid from Lakeshore Ford for the Highway Department for trucks. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign, motion carries. Next up, Development Stormwater Management, Bob Thompson. Morning, Bob.
Morning.
Morning, Michael.
Good morning.
What do you got here, number one?
This is receiving bids for paving or reconstruction of North Calumet from Wesley Road to US Highway 6 and Meridian Road from 600 North to US Highway 6. Both of these projects are combined into, or both paved roads are being combined into one project. This is part of the Community Crossings grant that we received this year.
Open away, Madam Auditor.
And two bids as received this morning.
Now, what we'll do is we'll open up these bids, we'll read them, and then we'll hand them back to these gentlemen to make sure that the bids are responsible. And I think because there's only two, we could probably turn around and award it here later in the meeting, because we need to get this in for...
That's what we would like to do.
Okay. If something doesn't look right, though, we can always put it on the next agenda. But
Correct.
these are pretty usually straightforward. The first bid is from Walsh and Kelly out of Griffith, and their quote is, or their bid is $679,929.42. That's $679,929.42. The next bid is from Reith Riley Construction out of Gary, Indiana, and their bid is $818,518.48. 818-518-48.
Whereas Matt's going to grab those and work them up.
And Matt, our highway engineer, will take those and review those for responsible. Next up, we have an ordinance to amend Title 15 of the County Building Code, and this is building permit conflict of interest. This is first reading. So Bob, why don't you give us, Scott, give us a sort of an update on what this is for.
This is a state law change that's requiring us to modify our local ordinance to deal with any potential conflict of interest that our building commissioner, building permit people do not have. And what we do is we do have a conflict of interest, which would mean a direct or indirect financial interest in a permit that they're issuing or reviewing. So this is pursuant to state law change, and this is us mirroring what the state law is requiring us to do as far as the definition and the issuance of permits, et cetera.
Okay. So this is first reading, and so as most of you know that have been to these meetings before, what we do is we're going to stall our commissioners' meeting right now and open up a public hearing, which we are now open. And what we will do is we will give 3 opportunities for people to come forward and speak in favor of this ordinance, and we will give anybody 3 opportunities to come up and speak against this ordinance. So first, what I would like to do is first call anybody wishing to come forward to speak against this ordinance. And if you do, please give your name and your address. Second call, anybody wishing to come forward to speak against this ordinance. Third and final call, anybody wishing to come forward to speak against this ordinance. First call, anybody wishing to come forward and speaking in favor of this ordinance. Second call, anybody wishing to come forward to speak in favor of this ordinance. Third and final call, anybody wishing to come forward to speak in favor of this ordinance. And with that, the public hearing section is closed. I will reopen the commissioners' meeting. Any motions or any discussion?
Motion to approve the ordinance to amend Title 15 of the County Building Code, building permit conflict of interest on first reading.
Second for discussion.
Sure.
What is it about this that amended that we should know?
The main thing is if there is a conflict of interest between the building commissioner or the building inspector, they're supposed to approach the director of the department, notify it. The director is supposed to record this conflict and everything, and then do a new assignment to keep the particular permit away. And it's also talking about that the permitting process, when they do have everything in correctly and all of the information, we are supposed to issue that permit, and then it goes in further with the conflict.
What's wrong with that?
So this is transparency.
Exactly.
Basically, you can't approve your own permit on your own project.
Which you shouldn't be able to do anyway.
This conflict of interest does.
Right.
Bingo, yes.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Motion is second on first reading. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign. Motion carries. Second reading will be at our next meeting. Next up, we have DLZ Indiana LLC. This is a supplemental agreement for bridge replacement on Bridge 68. This is on Smoke Road over Jones Ditch. Can you give us a little bit of insight into this, please?
Yes, supplemental agreement, it's coming about because the classification of the road is rural minor arterial, so we have to hit certain design widths for the particular road with shoulder and the bridge widths on this. And with the skew of the ditch there, Jones Ditch, it's making it difficult on this. So we have requested DLZ to go forward with what is referred to as a Level 1 design exception request to INDOT and Federal Highway. So this supplemental agreement is to proceed with that because we're asking for the lesser width on the road and shoulders because of the fact that if we have to stay with that particular design, correct me, Mike, if I'm wrong, that we were going to have to do a total reconstruction then of Jones Ditch to be able to do the skew necessary.
Would have created a whole set of complications for us with the project. So we thought the best path forward was to pursue the Level 1 design exception.
Complications.
Yes. Yep.
And the permitting on that would be excessive.
Motion to approve.
Second. We have a motion and a second for a supplemental agreement for bridge replacement of Bridge 68 on Smoke Road over Jones Ditch from DLZ of Indiana. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Last one, USI Consultants. This is their annual service agreement. And what is USI? Explain to everybody what USI does for the county.
USI currently has been doing work for us on Bridge 168, which is a federal aid project. They also did the Bridge 126, which was part of the capital improvement plan on that. We have requested USI to give us an annual service agreement to basically increase the pool we have in there for engineering services, consulting services on that. And we didn't want to keep it strictly to the highway engineering section. We just explained it all for the department. So it is all-inclusive of the department on that. One thing that's a little bit different on this, too, is a lot of the service agreements we have go from January 1st to December 31st. This particular agreement is going to go from July 1st to June 30th. Still 1 year contract and everything on that, but it's following more or less INDOT's fiscal year.
Oh, okay. That's why we're doing it now.
Right.
Okay. Usually we see these at the beginning of the year.
Right.
Correct.
That's why I was wondering why, okay. So we're following INDOT's.
Right. And we've had a good relationship with USI on that, and we just requested them to put in this annual service agreement just to increase our pool for.
Okay. Thank you.
Motion to approve the
Second.
USI Consultants Annual Services Agreement.
Second. We have a motion and a second for USI Consultants, Inc., annual service agreement. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Matt Gavelak, I think, has come to a review of the two quotes from Reith Riley and Walsh and Kelly, and we'll let Matt come up here and tell us what he found.
Yeah, Walsh and Kelly was low bid at $679,929.42. Their documentation was adequate and their math was correct. So they're the low bid, and we recommend that for approval, for award.
Motion to award the bid as mentioned by Mr. Gavelak.
Second. We have a motion and a second for awarding Walsh and Kelly the bid for North Calumet from Wesley Road to Highway 6 and Meridian Road from 600 North to Highway 6 for $679,929.42. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign. Motion carries.
Is this pretty much just all blacktop? I mean, there's not any major sub-base?
I believe there's some milling, is there not? Milling of a city depth and then,
We're milling 2 inches on North Calumet, 1.5 inches on Meridian, and then we'll be striping it as well. It's a pretty simple project.
Will we have to close the roads in order to do that?
No, we'll keep one lane open, and they'll have maintenance of traffic with flaggers, so they'll keep access to property owners.
I think we're all seeing orange cones in our sleep by now, so it's just...
flashing it.
Yeah. That side of Valpo has been under construction now, the north side with, on the county side will be under construction, but it will be brief.
And worth it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Wildlife Management Board, and we have a few things to take care of here. First up, we have, this is a rental agreement. I think we did this last year. This is an agreement to provide tables, chairs, and tents for the Celebrate Wildlife Festival on Saturday, October 5th, in the amount of $3,490.
Can we do all three of these together?
Yes.
We also have Indiana Wild, which is an agreement to provide live animal shows with animal interaction for the Celebrate Life Wildlife Festival on October 5th again for $850. And then we also have Silly Safari Show, and this is an agreement to provide live animal shows at the same festival on the same date for the amount of $750. I'll open it up to the floor.
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the Wildlife Board management rental and agreements for the Celebrate Wildlife Festival. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign. Motion carries. And then last, we have Valparaiso Events. We have a request to use the entire grounds, the county grounds, on Friday, December 6th, from 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock for the holidays. This is an event that happens every year in the city of Valparaiso, and we approve it every year, so we're going to go ahead and approve it today, hopefully.
And this is for the whole property, correct?
That is correct. That is correct, Commissioner Biggs. So I'll throw that to the board.
Motion to approve.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to use all of the county grounds in downtown Valparaiso on Friday, December 6th, from 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock for the holidays. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. And now we're at the end of the agenda, and what I'd like to do now is I'd like to open it up. Anybody wishing to address this board? And if you do wish to address this board, please come forward and give your name and address. And I think we have someone, so come on forward. Good morning.
Good morning. I have extra copies in here. I'm Lynn McDougall, and this is my husband John. We're residents of Green Acres. My husband John has difficulty speaking and has asked me to read his statement to you about needed improvements to the Calumet Trail. Thank you for allowing me this time this morning to speak to you. I'm a resident of Dune Acres. I use this wheelchair and also ride a recumbent trike, which is a way I can still get out and get exercise and enjoy the outdoors. The Calumet Trail, as it is today, is unusable for me, and it would be very unusable or unpleasant for most bikers, runners, or users of any kind. Most cyclists instead risk their lives to use Highway 12. The surface is very large, rough gravel or slag set in some sort of concrete and so jagged that it is a hazard. East of the Dune Acres train station, it is underwater. The Calumet Trail is a critical link in the Marquette Greenway plan and would be a valuable recreational asset to the region. There are plans to improve it, and I understand that there is funding available that could be used as local share for a state next level trail grant. Many Porter County residents would like to see the Calumet Trail meet its potential.
over 800 people have signed a recent petition requesting improvements, and there's a link on there. Sarah Sminyak has also been investigating the trail problems. She has posted a video on YouTube that vividly shows the defects, which is on there. And I think Sarah sent you links to the video and the petition yesterday or the day before. The Calumet Trail improvements would seem to be a high priority for state funding. If there are some unknown roadblocks holding up a grant application for improvements to this trail, I am here to ask if the commissioners can explain what is holding up the improvements and how we might begin to address any such issues. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I think generally what we have here is that the Calumet Trail started off, many years ago before a couple of key factors occurred, and I think the biggest changes are the double tracking of NICD and then also a major pipeline that went in through NIPSCO. So we have a lot of engineering that occurred pre those two fairly large, I'm not sure you could get much larger issues that have changed since some of that original engineering has been done. And so right now what we're attempting to do is gather the information necessary to determine what needs to change in that original planning now that we have those two issues here and done and are coming. The pipeline's in from a NIPSCO standpoint. The double tracking is funded and on its way fairly quickly. And so at this point, there is some grant money available. However, we have a lot of issues to work through as far as the best possible solution for the Calumet Trail as it stands now, again, given the fact of those two major changes. And, just to give you a little bit of an idea, with the NICD double tracking, we have some issues of access and getting around certain areas. There's one bottleneck at 49 and 12 on how to get around in there. We have another issue as far as since NIPSCO's put their pipeline in, we also have another issue of exactly what this trail would look like when it was done, whether it needs to be accessible by NIPSCO trucks, the size of those trucks, the weight of those trucks, all starts to radically change the size and building specifications of the trail itself. So while it's still obviously a high priority, at this point what we're attempting to do is get enough information together with those new factors to figure out exactly if this is the same plan that we should be moving forward with these changes, whether it needs to be slightly modified or greatly modified to accomplish the end goal. So that's really the issue here, is dealing with those two new things. If NIPSCO hadn't put a pipeline in, and if NICD had not done double tracking, which I don't think anyone's arguing are bad things, the issue might be a little bit more straightforward with the engineering. But we have engineering done pre those big changes, and now we have some backfill. Parts of it have been done, parts of it haven't been done. There's a big, then we start getting into other issues as far as when you start going from a gravel trail or a chip trail to a paved trail to a road. It starts to become vastly different things. And so we're in the process of attempting to go through that and figure out, with those changes, what's the best course at this point. And, the money that is available is obviously statewide. Again, we have to take that into consideration as to what kind of costs.
Well, then you have the grant that is concerned about the money or the grant for it going away, because other people will want to use grant money if we don't.
Well, that's what Attorney McClure was just touched on, is that we're competing with other communities throughout the state of Indiana for that grant money. And the state of Indiana, they can't afford to wait until we get the answers that we need before we make, a future investment there. I just had been in office when we first, in the Commissioner's office, when we first developed the Calumet Trail back in the late 90s. And, the specifications then and the circumstances were much different than they are today. The materials that we have to use are much more expensive. As Scott also touched on, we're going from a gravel base to an asphalt base, and they have to be, the trail has to be designed to the specifications that NIPSCO lays out, because their trucks are going from time to time traveling on that base to maintain their power lines along that route. So that makes a big difference. I mean, there's no one up here that doesn't want to see that trail go away. I mean, that improve. But like any organization, we have a certain, we're limited in the amount of resources. And in this case, is it depending on what we find out over the next 60 to 90 days, is it a smart investment, that we're going to make on behalf of the residents of Porter County to put that kind of money into that length of trail under those circumstances? That's what we also have to decide. And it's not an easy decision. You're welcome.
Is there anybody else here wishing to address this board? Please come forward. And with that, this board stands in recess.